Genesis 10 verses 8 to 10 says, Cush fathered Nimrod. He was the first on earth to be a mighty man, a Gibber. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech in the land of Shinar. Scholars have identified striking parallels between Nimrod and Gilgamesh.
The hero of the world's oldest written epic. Both are described as Gibborim, mighty men of extraordinary power. Both build great cities. Gilgamesh built the walls of Uruk, the same Erech listed as one of Nimrod's cities in Genesis 10:10. The world's oldest story ever written in any human language, the Epic of Gilgamesh, may be telling the story of a man whose lineage in the biblical text traces directly to Cush, to Ham, to the great African civilizations that Diop spent his lifetime documenting. The man who searched for immortality, the man who built the first great city, possibly carrying African blood, in the text of the oldest literature on earth. So the Lord scattered them, Puwts, from there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. Therefore its name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. Every language that has ever been spoken, every culture that has ever existed, every expression of human creativity, all of it, the result of the Puwts of Babel. God planted humanity across the earth the way he planted the Garden of Eden, deliberately, with the intention that life would grow. The continent of Africa contains over 2,000 distinct languages, more than 30% of all the world's languages, spoken on a continent that holds approximately 17% of the world's population. Nigeria alone has over 500 languages. No other region on Earth has this density of linguistic diversity. Africa carries the deepest linguistic roots on Earth because Africa is where the roots were planted first, the continent where Adam and Eve walked, the continent where the mandate to fill the Earth was first given. The African diaspora, the scattering of African peoples across the globe through the violence of the transatlantic slave trade, is one of the most devastating forced dispersals in human history. Every blues note, every jazz chord, every reggae rhythm, every gospel shout, every Afrobeat pulse, every Creole language, every expression of Black cultural creativity across the diaspora is seed that was scattered and grew. But we must be precise. The forced scattering of African peoples through the transatlantic slave trade was chamas, systematic, organized violence. It was not divine judgment. It was not the curse of Ham. It was not God's will. It was human evil on an industrial scale. What grew from the scattering, despite the chamas, not because of it, is Puwts, seed that was forced into the ground and grew anyway. The creativity, the resilience, the cultural explosion of the African diaspora emerged not because of what was done to African people, but because of what African people carried within them that nothing could destroy. The Tselem, the image of God placed in the first humans who came from the dark earth of Africa. That image survived the flood. It survived Babel. It survived the transatlantic slave trade. And it is present in every expression of Black creativity across the diaspora today. Acts chapter 2, the day of Pentecost. Jews from every nation under heaven, Parthians, Medes, Elamites, Egyptians, Libyans, all hearing the disciples speak in their own language simultaneously. At Pentecost, God does not restore one language. He speaks through all languages simultaneously. The reversal of Babel is not the elimination of linguistic diversity. It is God validating every language as a vehicle for his presence. When your grandmother prayed in her mother tongue, whatever that tongue was, God heard it in that language because that language was his design. The scattering of Babel was not the contamination of one pure original language. It was the flowering of everything that was always inside the one language, the diversity that was always waiting to emerge. Not punishment, not failure, planting. Puwts. 6,000 living languages on Earth today. The 2,000 languages of Africa alone. The Creole of Haiti. The Amharic of Ethiopia. The Yoruba of Nigeria. The Twi of Ghana. The Wolof of Senegal. The Zulu of South Africa. The Patois of Jamaica. The blues of the Mississippi Delta. The jazz of New Orleans. The gospel of the Black American Church. All of it. Puwts. All of it, seed God scattered. All of it growing exactly where he planted it. All of it an expression of the image of God that no tower and no empire and no amount of chamas can contain. The diversity is the point. It always was. And that is the Tower of Babel. And that is what one language, one people, one lie is all about. Hey, thanks for watching. If this episode changed how you see human diversity and what it means for the African diaspora specifically, share it. Subscribe to the Black Bible. Next week, Abraham, the man God called out of the land of Nimrod, out of Ur of the Chaldeans, to go somewhere he had never been and become the father of something he could not yet see. The truth was never lost. It was just hidden. And we're bringing it back, one episode at a time.